Hello, welcome to Life's Journey with Benedicta. So I'm going to take a few seconds to set up my IG live. Oh, the air conditioning. Let me turn it off. Okay. So I don't want the noise to filter into my live feed. So let me do this. IG live. So it's taking a while to connect. I'm having a bit of a challenge with my Instagram live. Give me a few seconds. Voila, I'm live on Instagram. Hello, Tiwa. A very good topic. Thank you. It is a topic I've been meaning to discuss for a very long time now. Hawaii, thank you for joining in. Jetty Money, Peso Bell, thank you for joining in. Atau, thank you for joining in. And if you are joining us for the first time on Life's Journey with Benedicta, I would like you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is youtube.com/Tastebudzng. And the series is Life's Journey. We're here to encourage each other, to support each other on our journeys through life. If you have lived long enough, you must have made tons of mistakes. And we're here to talk about these mistakes. We're here to encourage each other, letting everyone know that we're humans, we make mistakes from them, and there is nothing to be ashamed of. Brother Shukbo, good evening. Thank you for joining. So that is what this series is all about. We're here to share our stories in a motivational form, in such a way that it inspires, it motivates, it encourages one to move on in life. We don't want you to fall down, feel beaten down, and eventually you giving up on yourself. So this show is here to tell everyone that you have what it takes to make it. You have what it takes to thrive. You have what it takes to be the best version of yourself. And you have what it takes to live your dreams, to live a fulfilling life. That is what Life's Journey is all about. And on today's topic, we will be discussing toxicity in a relationship. When the toxic partner in a relationship discovers that he or she has been figured out. When they discover that the time is up, their game is over, and you have them figured out. And let's remember that before you get to this stage, before you get to the realization stage where, before your partner discovers that you have them figured out, you as a person in that relationship must have gone past the discovery stage, which is the stage where you discover that you are in a toxic relationship. If you haven't gone past this stage, you will not be able to make the next move, which is exiting the toxic relationship. Because it is at the point where you're trying to exit the toxic relationship that your partner discovers that they have been figured out, they have been caught in their game. He or she has been figured out. Because it's like a game of chess. When you put in the checkmate card, it's when you have figured out your opponent. You know it is game over, and you put in that checkmate card. So at that point when your partner discovers that he or she has been figured out, what is the usual reaction? What are the things to expect? What are the signs to expect? I have been in a toxic relationship before, and I can tell you, it is never as easy as we think it is to get out of it. There are so many stages. The stage where you do not even realize that you're in a toxic relationship. The stage when you now realize that you are in a toxic relationship. And the stage when you begin to make plans to exit. Now there is a stage when your partner discovers that you're trying to make that escape. Remember, being in a toxic relationship is like being in a prison sentence, and your jailer is aware all along of what he or she is doing to you, and he or she is also mindful of the day that you figure them out. The day you figure them out and you discover you now want to escape. Google, thanks for joining in. So at that point when you discover that you have to escape, don't think it's going to come easy. Don't think you're just going to pick up your bags and, wave goodbye and leave. It's never going to happen that way. It is never going to happen that way. You're going to have to fight for it. In my own situation, I had to fight for it. I had to go through all the motions. The first stage is the stage I call gaslighting, psychological violence. When I say psychological violence, it is that stage where the toxic partner discovers that you are about to leave, and he or she starts throwing verbal abuse, starts talking you down, starts making you feel that you are lesser than you really are, starts making you realize just how worthless you are, starts making you feel that you really cannot thrive without him or her. They try to make you feel you are nothing without them. That is usually the first stage. I call it psychological violence. They try to work on your psyche. They talk you down so much that you begin to question your mental sanity. That is usually the first stage. They ask you questions like, if you have ever caught them, for example, if you have ever caught them red-handed in an adulterous relationship, or you've ever caught them cheating on you, red-handed in a sexual intercourse, they are going to beg you that instance. They are going to cry and beg for your forgiveness. And the minute you look away and you do nothing about it, or the minute you look away and you decide to, go out and analyze what you've just seen, or to come into acceptance of what you have just witnessed, once that scene is over, I'm telling you, the next few hours, once they are dressed up in their clothing and then they come out, the next thing they're going to tell you is, what did you think you saw? Are you sure you saw what you say you saw? Are you okay? Are you sure you were not sleepwalking? They're actually going to make you think you are going mad. You didn't see what you saw. It is psychological, what you're talking about. And that is because at that moment when they were caught red-handed in that sex scene, they begged, they pleaded, they held your legs, they rolled on the floor, and they begged you not to scream or to tell anyone. And the moment they can move you from that first phase to the next 10 minutes when they are all properly clothed, the story is going to change, and the question is going to be, are you mentally okay? Are you sure you saw what you say you saw? That is the height of psychological violence. They make you to start doubting your sanity. That is just one of the signs you're going to see. Psychological violence. So when you're trying to exit a toxic relationship, when you have figured out your partner is toxic and your partner has figured out that he or she has been caught in the act, that you understand their gameplay and time it's up, it's called checkmate, and you're making that final exit. They're going to do everything they can in their power to keep you in that relationship. And that includes psychological violence. They are going to talk you down, make you feel you're nothing without them, make you feel mentally unstable, make you doubt the things you have seen, the things you have seen concerning them, the things you know about them, the things you have witnessed. So when the treaty, you begin to question your ability to exist without them. You begin to question your ability to survive outside that relationship. That is just a tactic that they try to use. So be aware of this. Physical violence should not deter you from exiting that toxic relationship. It's just a tactic that is used by a narcissist. We all know what a narcissist is. It's someone that practically dates themselves. He or she worships themselves. They feel that they are the best thing that can ever happen to humanity. They love themselves so much that no other person, relationships, I'm trying to make them leave their marriages. I'm going to say it one more time before I continue with this show. I am not here to talk you into leaving your relationship. I will always remind you that every relationship is worth fighting for until there is nothing more to it. Until there is nothing more to fight for. You should fight, yes. You should fight for every relationship that means something to you until there is nothing more to fight for. That means the relationship has degenerated to the point where there isn't anything worth fighting for. At that point, it is time for you to say goodbye and leave. So remember, one of the first signs to notice in a narcissistic relationship or in a toxic relationship is physical violence. They talk you down, they make you feel you're nothing without them, you can't exist without them. It is also called gaslighting. They make you begin to question your mental sanity. The second thing for you to look out for is the smear tactic. Smear tactic. I would also call it blackmailing, when they go about trying to make everyone believe. I don't know what happened to my phone, just went off. Okay, the IG live went off due to poor connection. So I'm just going to get it back up. So it is called smear tactic. They try to defame you. They will go to any length to defame you. They will go to any length to blackmail you. They will go to any length to make your loved ones. And they usually do this in your close circles, your family members, your childhood friends, your best friends, the people you hold dear, your working colleagues, people that look at you with utmost respect. They go around in these circles and they try to smear you. They try to defame your personality. They make all sorts of wrongful accusations. That is what they do. This is another tactic they pull up in order to hold you back in the relationship. Because remember, they are going to do everything in their bid to hold you back in that relationship. So you have to be mindful of all these tactics. You have to be mindful of all the signs. And like I always tell people, how much, or rather how much do you really want, how much do you really want to get out of this relationship? How far are you willing to go in order to detangle yourself from this relationship? That is what is going to determine if you are going to survive all the stages. The name calling phase, the body shaming, the physical violence stage, the smearing tactic, the blackmailing tactic. How much or how well do you really want to come out of this relationship? That is what is going to determine if you're going to survive all the stages. Because a narcissist will stop at nothing to ensure that you do not leave. Remember, it's like the prisoner and the jailer. The jailer is your toxic partner, and you trying to leave that relationship, you are the prisoner. So how well are you willing to fight for your freedom? How much are you willing to fight for your mental well-being, for your happiness, for everything you hold dear? That is what is going to determine if you are going to survive all the stages. And like I always tell people, we're here to encourage each other. We're here to support each other by telling each other our personal experiences. So never you think that you have seen it all with a toxic partner. Oh, I've seen it all. I don't think he can do more than this. He has done it all. I think he has done his worst. He can't do more than this. I'm here to tell you that that is a lie. There is no, or rather, there are no limits to how far they will go in order to keep you in that toxic union. So if you survive the smearing tactic, where they go all out and they tell your family and friends all sorts. I remember in the toxic relationship in my former partner went as far as telling my parents, my old parents, imagine, my dad is hypertensive, went as far as telling my parents that it was rumored that I was caught having sex in a car and people were watching me and people were making videos of it and that the videos are going to go viral, and he's here to tell my parents that he's going to do everything in his power to ensure that those videos don't go out. My father almost had a heart attack. Just imagine me not even being aware of what is going on. I wasn't in any relationship. All I did was pull out of a toxic union, moved out, and moved on with my life. And here I was, doing my work, minding my business, and my mom called me that my father was almost having a heart attack. And I had to go home to ask my dad, Daddy, please, what's going on? What's going on? My dad couldn't talk. He was palpitating, and my mom had to break it down to me. I didn't know if to laugh. I didn't know if to cry. I told my dad, I said, you know me. I can never ever do that. Why would I do that? Am I now a porn star? Am I shooting that video so I can sell it on Pornhub? I talked to my dad for almost 30 minutes. I assured him that there was nothing like that, that this person is just out to destroy me and my family. I mean, if you have ever been in a toxic relationship, you will understand that your toxic partner knows you completely. They always have their prisoner figured out. You think you're in a relationship, but he is the jailer and you're the prisoner, and they always have you figured out, down to your best friends, to your family members, to the people you love the most. And they know I am so close to my dad, and my dad doesn't joke with anything that concerns me. He holds me in such high esteem. So telling my dad that will either kill him immediately, give him a heart attack, or make him so mad with me, and that will strain the relationship that I have with my dad. So you can imagine how far a toxic partner can go. He almost killed my dad with a heart attack, with a news he made up. Do you understand? When that didn't work, I was able to prevent my dad from going into a coma, like having a heart attack. And I assured him that never happened. This is me, his loving daughter and everything. And it didn't affect our relationship. That is phase 2. Smearing tactic. Check. It didn't work. Stage 3. They went as far as trying to kidnap me. Check. By the special grace of God, that didn't matter, reported to the SARS unit. All this was to prevent me from coming out of a toxic relationship. When you're in a toxic relationship with someone, they will go as far as threatening you with every single thing you hold dear. Your finances, your children, your parents, your best friends. If you're a churchy person and you're very close to your pastor, that's the first place they will go. They will go and tell your pastor all sorts. That is for those of you that carry your pastors on your head. Just know that that's the first spot of call. They are going to actually, first of all, sow seed in that pastor's church. Put some money in the envelope for building funds, and then ask to have a one-on-one with your pastor. And then they are now going to cook up some very interesting stories, and then they'll tell your pastor all of that. So they're going to play all sort of mind games for you. You see, every week I have one call from one confused woman trying to come out of a bad relationship, or trying to come out from a bad marriage, or trying to end a bad marriage, or I get one call from a heavily depressed woman that is on the verge of losing their mental sanity. Sometimes I have the time to talk to them at length. Sometimes I do not have that time. But I believe that speaking to you on this forum, there are so many people that are going to watch this video, and it's just going to minister to that particular need or that particular problem that they might be going through right now. Please understand that all these are mind games. All these are mind games. It shouldn't deter you from your position, which is you want out. Come rain, come sunshine. Your mindset should be that as long as I'm alive, I will not stay one more day in this toxic relationship. So once you have that mindset, whatever tactic they bring up, you're going to checkmate them. Whatever tactic they bring up, you're going to be prepared for it. And you're still going to forge ahead. Because you're seeing the big picture. And what is the big picture? Your freedom. The big picture is you becoming free from your jailer. And there is no price too much to pay for that. As long as you have breath in your lungs, you can breathe. there isn't any price too much to pay for that freedom. So I want you to watch out for all of these tactics. They're going to mess with your finances. They're going to mess with your relationship. They're just going to do all sorts. But what should keep you going is the realization that there isn't anything worth fighting for in that relationship. It is game over. Checkmate. It is time for you to move out and move on. And even after you've moved out, baby girl, you're still not going to have peace of mind. You're going to have to deal with it like a cancer, like something that isn't going to go away easily, or for it to go away, you have to fight it with everything that you've got, to the point of losing some of the things that are dear to you, some of the things you hold dear. Sometimes in fighting a cancer, when you use chemotherapy, it might cause some certain level of damage to some of your organs. So you know that is the price you pay for fighting that cancer. In my own situation, I lost finances. I lost finances running into hundreds of millions. Yes, that was just one of the prices I had to pay for my freedom. And I have no regrets whatsoever. Absolutely none. I'm alive. I have breath in my lungs. I have my children. I'm raising them. But I do not have them entirely the way I would want to. I keep fighting every day for regarding children custody issues. That is what I have come to realize that I have to deal with for as long as I live, or for as long as they are minors. I have to live with this reality. That is the price I had to pay for my own freedom. So if you are exiting a toxic relationship, or you have exited it, just understand that you're going to continue dealing with it like a cancer. You're going to have to live with it. You're going to have to find other avenues of, making yourself happy, moving on in life, doing other things that means something to you. You have to move on, fulfill certain aspects of your life that you couldn't have done in the past. Because for you to gain your freedom from a narcissist, something has got to give. That is what I'm here to tell you today. Something has got to give. You cannot eat a cake and have it. Something has got to give, and you have to be willing to give that thing. Because exiting a relationship that is toxic is not a walk in the park. So I'm here to encourage those of you that are going through this life, dealing with it. You're going to spend the rest of your life nursing it like an injury that wouldn't go. So some of you are scared because you do not want to nurse it. You feel, why fight something that I think is bigger than me? Why fight it? If it's going to be such a huge fight, I'm better off staying in it and enduring it. Remember, fight for your relationship until there is nothing else left to fight for. And when there is nothing else left to fight for, you have to leave. Your life is worth more than enduring a toxic union. You might think remaining in it is an easier way out than getting out, having your freedom, living your life to the fullest, but still nursing this toxicity on the side. It's just like the aftermath of the COVID infection. A lot of people survive COVID, the virus, but they have to deal with the aftermath of the COVID infection. Some people had to deal with the loss of their hearing. Some people were heard, couldn't see. Some people faced penile dysfunction after surviving COVID. So there are so many things that they are dealing with post-COVID. So I call this post-toxic union or post-toxic relationship. So there are things you have to deal with, and I'm not going to tell you it's a walk in the park. I have been there, and I want you to learn from me. That is what this series is all about. We're here to learn from each other. So I'm here to encourage you that you have to still deal with it after you have exited it, but it is worth fighting for. Someday I'm going to be bold enough to show you some of my pictures, like my passport pictures, a year before I filed for my divorce. Seriously, if I should put that passport picture then and now, I looked 50. I looked like I was almost 50 years old. I was scrawny, skinny. I had huge eye bags for days. And then I was making a minimum of, let's say, 9 to 10 million naira as my profit every month. So I had that money in my bank account, but it didn't reflect in the way I looked. I worked so hard. I turned over so much money in my business, and every month I had almost 9 to 10 million because I used to pay a tithe of 1 million naira. Then I was, fanatical Christian, Pentecostal Christian that believed in tithing. So every month, my tithe used to be between 700 to 1 million naira every month. But you should look at me, you should see me. Someday I'm going to put up those pictures. That was a year before I filed. I knew I was dying. I was dying, as in I was mentally and physically dying. Slowly but surely, I was going. People were looking at me. My mom was almost in tears. She was like, "This is not my beautiful daughter. You used to look so good. What is going on? Is it the stress of your work?" Because actually, I'm a workaholic by nature. Even in Tastebudz, I work so hard that sometimes Daddy Freeze will have to fight me to leave work. But I still look at my pictures now. It is nothing compared to what I looked like then. And then I was supposed to be maybe 15 years younger, but I looked almost 50 years old. I was scrawny and skinny. The interview pictures I posted sometime 2 weeks ago, that was nearly 2 years after I filed for my divorce. I had started getting chubby in those pictures. I had started getting chubby. I had started recovering my complexion. My chubby cheeks had started coming back up. But you should see me a year before I filed for my divorce. I looked scrawny. And when I look at myself today, sometimes I get so angry, like, why did I allow myself to dry up so much? Why did I allow myself to stay so long to the point where I almost died? Why did I almost kill myself? Why was I so stupid that I stayed so long and I almost killed myself before I realized that it is time to come out? But guess what? You can't keep blaming yourself every day. I'm still grateful to God that I came out alive. So it is better late than never. Like they say, what next best time is the best time to plant a tree? And the answer is now. Now is the next best time to plant a tree. So if you're listening to me and you know you are in a toxic relationship. I get so many DMs. Tastebudz, please, I know you're very busy, but I would like to speak with you. I'm in a very bad place in my marriage. I'm in a very bad place. There's this guy I want to get married to. I'd like to speak to you. I've dated him for nearly 9 years. I feel if I leave him, I would have wasted 9 years of my life. You have admitted that you are in a bad place. You have admitted that the relationship is not good. But now you do not want to let go because you feel you're going to lose 9 years of your life. Hello? You going on with that relationship might make you lose 30 years of your life in future. So please, even if we do not get to talk, or I do not get to talk to everybody, for those of you that are in a toxic relationship, you're confused. You don't want to lose 9 years because you've been in a relationship for 9 years. You don't want to lose that and start all over again. Please lose it. Let it go. Start all over again. You're better off than holding on to something that doesn't even exist. That relationship is over, logically over. But mentally, in your mind, you still believe you have something. But sister, you have nothing. There is nothing you're holding on to. When it's over, it's over. When it's not worth fighting for anymore, it is not worth fighting for. Do not let your emotions rule you, control you, confuse you. When it is over, it is over. Move on. So if you are in a toxic union or in a toxic marriage, or you're out and you're feeling so devastated because you are nursing that cancer and you're asking yourself, oh my goodness, maybe I shouldn't have left this relationship. I'm going through such a tough time. My darling, do not regret leaving the relationship. You aren't, I repeat, you aren't in a bad situation. You didn't make a bad decision. You didn't. You're just going through the motions. Those phases will come and go. And eventually you'll be happy that you did. I'm telling you from my experience. The initial time after I left, I was very excited. I told you, I was very excited. But I always had that tiny feeling of, oh my God, I hope I did the right thing. You know, that moment where people start talking trash about you. Oh, she's so stupid. She shouldn't have left. Oh, she's a divorcee. My goodness, she's to hell. You know, you go to the salon to make your hair in a neighborhood or in your neighborhood, and you actually can feel their eyes at the back of your head. You know, that uncomfortable period in your life. You go to your church and everyone is talking about you, or you perceive that you're talking about you, or they're talking about you, and as soon as you walk in, everywhere goes quiet. Oh my God. I didn't make the right decision. Oh my goodness. You made the right decision. People are going to talk. It's life. But you made the right decision. That phase is going to pass. Remember that while you were in that toxic relationship, none of those people talking about you were in it with you. Those people talking about you and condemning you are not living better lives. They are not. Most of them are being hypocritical, and they're just justified. Your conscience should be your judge. Only your conscience should be your judge. So I believe we have all. So I'm gonna a few days. I'm just everything up a bit something. Okay, so did I miss? Bless you. Yeah, you missed out a bit, but nothing to worry about. You can always catch up. Mama Daddy Freeze, it's my first time here. Official B Mastery 2K. Thank you. Thank you for joining in. Thank you. Thank you. You're beginning to look like Daddy Freeze. Your face looks like Daddy Freeze. All in order for you to be able to come out and come out strong. Coming out, surviving the first stages, and moving on to thrive. It is not just good enough that you come out. Some people came out and came out damaged. So in your coming out, endeavor to come out when it is still sunny. One hand and one leg, coming out with one eye, coming out and they are checking you into a mental home. That is not a good way to come out. Please endeavor to come out while you have your mind and body intact. Please come out while you have your mind and your body intact, not when you are all damaged. That is very true, giving it your all. Toxic relationship can demoralize one and actually make one lose their sense of my goodness. And that's why Ayomizi, in any relationship, mother-child relationship, best friend relationship, husband and wife relationship, fiance and fiancé relationship, it can be any relationship at all. Boyfriends, childhood friends, it can creep up on us in a way we least expect. And that is the bad thing about toxic relationships. We do not even understand or understand when we find ourselves in toxic relationships. Your best friends, they are going to cry to your parents, they're going to cry to your siblings, they are going to cry to anyone that can spare 2 minutes to listen to their lies. They are always the victim. They play the victim card. How could I have forgotten that point? Watch out for that. They always play the victim card. No matter how wicked they have been to you, they play the victim card. Because they don't even have what it takes. I call it EQ. Their EQ, emotional quotient, is 0. They feel nothing. They are numb. They feel absolutely nothing. So even when they are hurting you, they are killing you, they are crying. Even when they are maltreating you, they are playing the victim card. They always play the victim card, and they are always crying to whoever is willing to listen to their lies. So don't fall for that. Ayomizi, thank you for that point. Crime is their end game plan once they get caught. How badly one needs to leave. If you really need to leave, you have to leave. Everything, even the romance mode, is used. Then they now want to buy you gifts you don't need. In my own situation, when I was in a toxic relationship and I discovered that, man, I've been scammed, I've been emotionally blackmailed for years, and I was going to run, I was going to leave with everything I've got. Come and see. Promises of heaven and earth. Oh, you're a business person. I know you're very enterprising. Do you know what 200 million naira will do to your business? If we can just put 200 million naira into this business, it's just going to do wonders. I'm like, wow, really? There was a 200 million naira somewhere, and I never knew. Don't fall for it. Run, Jackpa, run. They are going to pull all sorts. Romance, that's when they realize they never bought you a handbag or a shoe in their life. That is when they realize that really they never knew what your underpants size was, whether you wore a UK 14 or a UK 12. They've never realized if your bra size was a 36D or double D or 38. They never knew. But all of a sudden, romance, they realize, oh, what's her bra size? Let me get her some nice underpants, or let me get her a car for her birthday. They are going to stop at nothing. Nothing. So like I'll tell you, how bad do you want out? How bad do you really want to get out? Because they're going to do everything to hold you in. So Binta, everything, even the romance mode is used. You have been there, you're a genius. What words we put in ourselves? Okay, absolutely. I love this. Toxic partner will do everything to break you emotionally and physically. Aboli underscore show. Exactly, they will do everything to hold you emotionally and physically. This tactics comes in waves. Yep, Binta, it comes in waves. It comes in phases. If the first phase doesn't work, they try the second phase, it doesn't work. They pull on the third phase and on and on and on it goes. Nothing is off limits to them. Oh my God. Oga Ife 247, we've lost the audio here. Oh. Living an abusive marriage does not make us a failure. Exactly. And that's what I keep telling people. It doesn't make anyone a failure. It just makes you wise enough to realize that you're in a bad situation and it's time to go. Cakes underscore N underscore Bakes. Hi, sorry, I joined in late. Oh, not to worry. You'll catch up. Those pastors really ate your money, law. Chris, wallahi, they ate my money. Seriously, they did. You came out and met a wonderful person. Exactly. Cakes underscore N underscore Bakes. That's what makes it worthwhile. And that is why I can confidently tell you that you should never be afraid. Never, never. You have to come out and explore. There's so much out there for you. Only if you're bold enough to come out. So, Daddy Freeze is a cool and funny person. You have a good man now. Yay, Chris. Thank you. And that is why I'm glowing. Someday I'm going to post those pictures. Honestly, when I look at those pictures, I feel like knocking myself on the head. Like, why did you stay so long? You could have died. I could have. I thank God for grace. Come out when you have your sanity. Blessing, Stephen 4052. Come out when you have your sanity. That's right. Uche Anaibe. What happens when you're giving your all in a relationship and the person is not reciprocating? Instead, he's busy listening to side talks. Uche Anaibe. It is most frustrating. If someone keeps listening to side talks, despite you giving in your all in that relationship, then that relationship, trust me, isn't worth fighting for. Because for two people to have a sustainable relationship, there has to be a certain amount of trust. If there isn't trust, he or she will constantly listen to side talks. And if your relationship doesn't end now, it's still going to end later. So when you know you have given it your all and you can no longer take the side talks and the relationship still isn't working, get out Uche Naibe while you can. I really don't know what is wrong with my YouTube. I feel so sad. Let me change the network provider. Oh my goodness, how do I change the network provider now? So I'm going to try to change the network provider because it's been rotating for over 30 minutes. I don't know what to do. When you are simple, or when you live a simple life, or you try to make people comfortable, you try to show them love, sometimes they take you for granted. So you have to be very careful about that. Don't let people, so it's really shukbo, it's really serious when situation, it's really serious situation because a little before, always weird situation where they have so much to lose, time to gain. That's why most people stay in toxic relationship. Exactly, they feel they've lost so much time already, so they just continue to remain in that toxic relationship. And it doesn't make any sense. So let's be very careful not to fall into that trap of feeling you don't want to lose more years, so you're stuck in it. A lot's related with my story here. He always wants no one but only my female friends or girlfriends, and he only gets close to them through sabotaging me. That's very toxic. Ayomizi underscore 2Z. You have to be wary of relationships like that. Try your best to sort it out and make him understand where you're coming from. And if it isn't working, you have to leave. Bakers sees Island underscore cakes, you are too beautiful. Thank you, Bakers. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for the compliment. I really appreciate you all coming out today and letting us hear your opinion. It is important that we share our opinions, we discuss the things so that people that are too afraid of coming out or people that are too shy to come out and discuss their issues can listen to us discuss these topics and learn from them. So thank you all. Thank you all for your valid opinion. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining in. And remember, it is youtube.com/tastebudzng. So if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, please subscribe and remember to hit the notification bell because we do have cooking YouTube videos uploaded on this channel every now and again, and I want you to be the first to be informed each time we have a new video uploaded. So thank you for joining in. It is bye-bye from Life's Journey with Benedicta.